Welcome everyone to episode 20 of the expansion team series. We are back in college. We lost the championship game with the Munich Wolverines, so it's off-season time, it's draft time, and just right after the NFL draft in real life, I'm really hyped to get into drafting and scouting here in the game again. But first, rest of the college season, Alabama finished 15th, Clemson in the top 25, Texas at 5, and the top 4, Oklahoma, Houston, Virginia Tech, and LSU. So let's go into the playoffs and see who will win the college football championship. We have Houston in the finals. They play against Oklahoma without any losses this year. Let's see if they have any interesting players. I mean, we're going to get into scouting, but their Their quarterback is a junior, 93 overall. He's really good. But yeah, as I said, we will go into scouting in a second. Let's first check out the college football champion of the 2025 season, and it is Oklahoma. So they win it all. Let's check out the awards. MVP and most outstanding offensive player is Charles Willett, a freshman running back from Oklahoma. And this is one player here, another Oklahoma player we will definitely focus on. I'm not sure if he's going to be in this year's draft because he is a junior. Might be, but if not, he will be the top target for next year's draft. He had outstanding stats. 22 sacks in his freshman season, 14 the year after that, 29 sacks this year. He is one of the best pass rushers here. And yeah, we could use some pass rush help for sure. And we also saw that the drafts are really bad in pass rushers. I don't think that he will declare as a junior. Normally players do not do that here in the game. Joshua Dooley, definitely someone to remember. Looking at senior players, Robert Dayton wins most outstanding quarterback and senior quarterback. He could be a backup. We don't really need a quarterback. Just will write down his name in case he falls. A great year for him with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Had 48 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Here he had 64 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. This is interesting. He's really, really good. Might go actually also really early in this draft. Let's see. No idea yet how this class looks. Most outstanding receiver is Homer Roberts, a senior. He's already 23 years old, but really, really good. Awesome stats. Can develop his player skills. Also for him, over the last 4 years, really good stats. Every year, nearly 15 touchdowns or more. Also, the yards are really impressive. He's a deep threat for sure. Interesting also that he had some snaps in the rushing game, 2 touchdowns here. So overall, also some pancakes. I really like Homer Roberts. The only player left here in the awards to mention is Wallace Schmidt. He is a kicker, draft eligible senior, but also 27 years old. That is interesting. I don't think that I will draft him, but best kicker here. Let's look at the Senior Bowl rosters. North team, we already saw Robert Dayton, great season for him. Also the other QBs, 85 overall and 73 overall. He is not that good. Interesting for us would be to look at the O-line if there is someone who can play tackle for us. Tosh Baker, I will write that name down. Not the best stats here, so I don't think this is translatable to the NFL, but most pancakes, but not that impressive. Unfortunately, the O-line class does not look too good right now. Other than that, wide receivers, we already saw Homer Roberts, also Maryland receiver Octavian Smith Jr. with a great year. We saw that, talked earlier about him. He had a great start to the season, 18 touchdowns. So his first really productive season might be a sleeper for the draft. Let's look at the defensive side. Great stats here for J.K. Johnson. He is a good player, had lots of interceptions, also 2 touchdowns this year. J.K. Johnson may be someone for round 1. We don't have a pick there, but interesting to see where he might go. Also, the other Ohio State cornerback looks really good. 90 overall, 4 interceptions this year. Yeah, D-line not too impressive, not that many sacks, unfortunately. So here's 17 sacks. That's good, but 79 is unfortunately not translatable to the NFL, and that's the problem with all the edge rushers, that they don't have the best stats here. They get the numbers, but not really translatable to the draft. That's just unfortunate. Quick look at the South team. We'll check out the O-line. 76 pancakes is the most here. Matthew CAMACHO. Looking at his stats over the last few years, only 1 sack allowed. That's great, but again with the scales ratings, I'm not sure if this is translatable to the NFL or what his rating might be when importing this draft class to the pro football game. Looking at defensive players, 13 sacks, 3 safeties. That's really good. Another Louisiana player, if I remember correctly. Just from the look here, does not seem to be the best draft class. Let's quickly check if Joshua Dooley will be in the draft class. And no, he is not. As you can see for Ohio State, only seniors declared. So Joshua Dooley will go back to college and will be one of our very, very first guys to watch for the next year. Next year we also have a first round pick. We could use edge help. He will be one of our top targets, but not in this draft. And with that said, let's nail free agency before drafting great players. So this is the first year where we could really get into trouble. We lost a lot of players like Bobby Okereke, Derek Brown, or right tackle McGlinchey. We lost a lot of talent that we got cheap in the expansion draft, and we need to pay them, and we cannot pay everyone. We only have $7.5 million before free agency and the draft, and a lot of holes. I don't know how to do this, but one option might be to trade or release Chase Young. He had a really bad season for us. 1 sack, that is not worth 23 million. So there we can create some cap space. We could also trade Wyatt Teller, Marcus Peters, Lael Collins, David Andrews, a lot of old starters that won't be there next season. I'm pretty sure about that. We really have problems here. So in this free agency, I just try to get cheaper and a little bit younger. Our team is old. We need to get younger. Offensively, honestly, I'm really fine. We need a right tackle or a guard or a center, so we could move on from Teller or Andrews. Wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back. I won't address anything of that. In the free agency, there's also no need to do that. Lost our defensive tackle. We have Mason Smith and Mazzy Smith that we both drafted in the last year's draft. I'm willing to give them a chance, so not paying a defensive tackle. Edge player, we need one, and maybe then let Chase Young go. Linebacker, there's just no one on the roster. We have 3 linebackers in total. We need someone. Cornerback, we are fine because Mike Hughes was injured the last year. So we have 3 really good ones. Could get younger here. Could also trade one of Richie Grant and Antoine Winfield Jr. So this is our chance to maybe get a little bit younger. So with that said, I made a lot of free agency offers to offensive linemen like Zion Johnson. As you can see, around 10 million. Creed Humphrey is someone we would get younger with him, but not cheaper. He has 100 overall. Would be, of course, a great signing, but maybe a luxury pick that we cannot do. A center, as said, cornerback. I'm trying to get CJ Henderson back for a little bit cheaper. A linebacker, I made a lot of offers, and edge also kicker. I'm honestly happy if one or maybe two players sign, because this is not to get players in just to have them in the building. I want to get them in for cheap. So all of these contracts are a little bit under market value. So let's see who's willing to come to us. First day is over, no big signings. That's good and bad news for us. We're already down on Creed Humphrey and on TRAVON Walker. Another one I wanted to bid because 89 overall is awesome. He would be also really expensive, but since our linebackers are making the sacks, I'm willing to get a little bit more expensive with his offer. Maybe around 13.6. I'm willing to pay him. We need to realize someone else, but he could be a difference maker for us. So let's update this contract and go to day 2 of free agency. Again, we did not lose anyone, but also did not sign anyone. Creed Humphrey, I don't guess that we're going to get him. Same for TRAVON Walker. We'll maybe update it just a little bit and see if he signs. So 14 is the maximum. If he just does not sign, yeah, fine with me. But I'm willing to take a chance on 89 overall athlete on linebacker. As I said, linebackers are the players who make the sacks for us. So TRAVON Walker could be a good player for us on this defense. So let's see who signs on day 3. Still no one, and we lost out on Creed Humphrey. 15 million, I was just not willing to give that to him. And now there are still a lot of offers out there. As I said, won't update TRAVON Walker. So let's complete this day. And we signed Evan McPherson, a kicker, for 3 million. Not the player I was hoping to get here. But yeah. So let's finish the last day of free agency. And we got our fullback. Not the player I thought we would get. Again. But adding a fullback is good. He has a good personality, 76 overall. Will play a role, I guess. I don't know. Said that we could not sign anyone else while Mike McGlinchey goes to the Colts. So had a couple of good free agents here. Yeah, we need to figure that out after the draft, I guess, because it's time for scouting. Looking at the mock draft, Marvin Jones is expected to go first overall. An edge rusher, Ignacio Perez, did not remember him. Same for Ty Simpson. Is there anyone we actually scouted? So interesting top 10 linebacker in here, Jordan Poole. I mean, we know Marvin Jones, and we knew that he might be one of the best players for this draft. Out of reach, of course, but let's see who is available for us in round 2. So this is my draft board. It's a lot, and it is very, very focused on linebackers. You can see Marvin Jones here at the top. I mean, he had by far the best grade of this draft. Honestly, he's out of range. I just added him to the board in case he falls mid of round 1. I will definitely draft him or trade up for him. But as you can see from all those players I rated here, there are 2 edge rushers with really good grades, and they are projected to go undrafted. I will promise at this spot that I will draft both of them. I don't know, round 3? No, that's too high for undrafted. They can still be busts. 4, 5, 6, I will draft them for sure. Here, Omari Abor, great tackling, remarkable speed, great hands. Same for Cyrus Moss. So both seem to be really good athletes, also good agility. I mean, if the scouts are right, those 2 players are outstanding. I will draft them. Other than that, let's filter by position. Linebacker is something I have the most players on here. We need a linebacker, could use one. I like the tackling here for both third round projections. And other than that, great speed for Sebastian Cheeks if he falls to round 2. Edge, I already showed you. I also have 1 defensive or 3 defensive tackles on the board. Could be something for round 2, not sure yet. We have 4 second round picks. I will trade at least one of that, but yeah, let's see about that. And other than that, O-line is something we need to address. Still hoping to do that in free agency, but if not, also here guard, tackle, center. Not center. I only have 1 center for round 4 to 5, but guard and tackle are destinations for us in round 2. So with that said, let's see how the board falls for us and get into the draft. So the Jets are on the clock. The Jets need wide receiver and linebacker. Could the Marvin Jones hope already be over? Yes. Okay, he does not fall. He goes first overall to the Jets, 84. That's a really good pick. Would have loved for us to get him. Let's look into the top 10 and then trade to our pick. Fernando Johnson, 87 overall. I did not see him in the college game. LSU player, great one, 87. That's really high. Titans go with 77 defensive tackle. Panthers take a running back. That's a reach with 77. First cornerback goes to the Browns, 75. There goes Ty Simpson, the best quarterback of this draft. Not the best intelligence, so that could be a problem for them. Great personality, great arm, great accuracy, but I would not have drafted him. Of course, we have one, but the intelligence is not the best. The Raiders go with the linebacker. Giants take 80 overall, Ignacio Perez, so the best edge rusher here. So honestly, it would have been a great draft to have a first round pick, first overall too, sure, but first round pick as well. Patriots go with Graham and the Seahawks take a cornerback. So let's go to round 2. We are mid of round 2. Let's see if there are any other great players. James Weeks, wide receiver, 84 overall to the Lions. That is really good. Other than that, a 59 overall tight end in round 1 to the Falcons. That's not good. I also checked out the O-liners here while going through the players. Not that good. So honestly, not sure what to do. Let's go to our draft board and see who's available. Okay, so I just looked at guard and I think I need to go with Jack Nelson from Wisconsin. Great work ethic and competitiveness. Has athletic blocker. Is actually the highest tackle on my board. That's left, round 2 grade, 10.8 projection. Offensive grade is good. He has exceptional run blocking. That's also really good for Bijan Robinson. A+ athleticism. So I'm happy to go with Jack Nelson. We need a right tackle. I know it's bad to draft for need, but he's the best tackle available. We need a tackle. Welcome Jack Nelson to the Munich Wolverines. And he has 70 overall, 79 run blocking, 70 pass blocking, 73 strength. I think I'm fine with that. He's the tackle, our starting tackle, of course, right now. I think that's good enough. Let's go to the next pick. That's just 4 picks away, and I think I'm going to trade that. We still have 2 other second round picks. I want to also have ammunition for next year because we're going to lose other good players again. So let's trade the Colts pick back. Okay, so the Colts don't want to get their second round pick back, so I'm trying to get it from the Cowboys, so that trade went through. We now have 3 second-round picks next year and still 2 for this year. So let's go to the next pick and see who is available for us at pick 30. Okay, best one on my board is Blake Bönisch, a defensive tackle. He has a 23 grade, not the best personality, A, athleticism. Not sure if this is a good pick, but we need a defensive tackle. Let's go with him, and he's a 70 overall, so right in line with Mason Smith and Mazzy Smith. Those 3 players will be our defensive, starting defensive tackles. And with the other second round pick, I think I'm going for linebacker. And here, honestly, the highest one for me is Jackson LADUKE. Great name, also great scouting grades, great team player. So really interesting, no trades, no flags. 22 years old, A physique, A football IQ, intangibles. He looks like a good player. I will pass up on all those above that. For me, he's the highest rated player, and also did not see that. Our head coach and defensive coordinator suggests him. So no-brainer pick here. In round 2, we need linebacker. We're just drafting for need and not best player available. 71, I'm happy with that. I know these are not the best players, but a great personality for him. Great player. Let's go to round 3. We have 2 third round picks here. I'm again looking for linebacker. There is still one. Yeah, Richard Poole. I wanted to have him, but thought we could wait till round 3. South Florida, not the best scouting grades, but he's a team player. Once again, leadership is great, and he has media darling trait. Don't know if this is great or not, or if that helps us. Don't think so, but he's also rated similar to Jackson LADUKE. So hopefully he is in the 70s as well. And yeah, 71, 84 tackling, that's awesome. And with that, it looks really good for us. So let's go to the next third round pick and quickly check out what else we need on the depth chart. I will go back to both edge rushers, I promise that. We drafted a tackle. Guard, we could use someone. Wide receiver, William Childs is on the end of the contract. But as you might remember, I talked about Homer Roberts. He's available, and I did not show him in the scouting grades. He had a good grade, so I will go for him as well. Defensive tackle, we drafted edge. We are going to draft, and we drafted 2 linebackers. I'm happy with that. So all of our needs are addressed when we take the edge rushers, and maybe a guard. We still have a third rounder, a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 2 7th round picks. So we could go maybe guard now, then looking if Homer Roberts is available, and then both edges. Hopefully they're still available. Not sure. Let's see how the board falls. Okay, the plans have changed. There are no guards available that I need. Center was on my list, but only for 4th or 5th round. And I checked out the wide receiver. Homer Roberts is the next, or not the next, but the next young wide receiver. 27, 26. Homer Roberts was on my board. He won the best wide receiver of the college. Personality is fine. Does he have a flag or trait? Workout fanatic. Wow, that's great. F technique really worries me. The rest looks good. On my scouting sheet, he has great hands. Fine intelligence, acceptable agility, and fine speed. Yeah, so I wanted to draft a guard. Let's go with Homer Roberts instead. We need wide receiver depth as always. He might be a steal, the best wide receiver in college. And here, 81! That is great. And he can develop because his player skill is so low. That's a home run pick. He's 81, 85 agility, 84 speed, 80 hands. He will be an instant starter. Yeah, we took a shot on the best wide receiver in college and might be worth it. With the 99th overall pick, we draft our wide receiver, and now round 4. Okay, so I guess I won't wait on the edge players. I just checked my draft board. There are other players available, but I don't want to lose out on Omari Arbor and Cyrus Moss. Let's go with Arbor first. I think, yeah, here he is, Ohio State. Great personality, great defensive grade, speed rusher. Yeah, that's nice. I'm worried about his physique here. Omari Arbor has great tackling, remarkable speed, and great hands. Hopefully he will be a good pick and get some sacks for us. He is 77. That is really good for a 4th round pick, honestly. Great personality, good speed. Yeah, I mean, that's not remarkable, but still really, really good. 4th round pick, 77, will be a starter. And with that, we could already think about trading Chase Young. Let's now go with Moss, also still here, 21 years old. Personality not that good. I mean, if he's also in the 70s, I will create cap space by trading Chase Young. Also for him, he has better agility, fine hands, remarkable speed, great tackling. Both really similar and no flags, but I think he's a speed rusher as well. Let's go with Cyrus Moss in the 5th round, 78 actually. Okay, so my scouts were right. I don't know why they're projected as undrafted here. Maybe it's just a good edge class, better than I hoped. So 2 really good pickups for us. And with that, we still have 3 picks left in this draft. What else do we need? Okay, our offensive coordinator wants the center Charles Leach. Not really happy about his personality. I also do not have him on my scouting list, but average pass blocking, acceptable run blocking. I think that's fine. He has tenacious blocker. So let's go with Charles Leach here in round 6. We need a second center, 73. So great value for us on day 3 of this draft. I mean, if Andrews retires as a center, he could already take over. So 2 7th round picks left for us. What is the value here in this draft? Okay, maybe the first guard I clicked on, he's 25. I know I don't draft 25-year-old players, but he seems good as a backup. Awesome personality, fine pass blocking, acceptable run blocking, great description, and also athletic blocker. We also need a guard. That was the first one I clicked on, and actually the highest rated guard here. Also not on my draft list. Let's hope he's in the 70s as well. 73. I'm really happy with the value we're picking up here. Last pick of the draft, and I'm still looking for a linebacker. We have drafted a lot of them, but we still need one. I did not scout Malik Reed or Myron Morrison. That's unfortunate. So Colby Cage is the last one on my list. Not the best scouting grade. He has good intelligence, so that's the only thing I hope for. Yeah, we especially need a rotational linebacker. Does not matter too much. I will draft Colby Cage here, 86, so not that good, but still fine for linebacker number 6. And with that, let's finish the draft. All right, let's look at the depth chart before ending this episode. I mean, our wide receiver we drafted is not in here. He will, of course, see some snaps. Homer Roberts, we have a lot of wide receivers, but also Jordan Addison contract will run out. Seth Jones has a long-term contract. William Childs, his contract is due. So I guess I might trade Childs. He's only 24 years old, but he wants 15 million. I cannot pay that. And now we have Homer Roberts, similar ratings here, and he's way cheaper. I will figure that out, but Homer Roberts will play. As I said, Jack Nelson instantly our starting right tackle. We drafted Daryl Patterson. So if we need cap space, we could trade via Teller. I don't want to do that, but we are minus 4 million in cap space, and I still want to do something in free agency. But we will, of course, trade Chase Young. I think that's a no-brainer move for us. After getting here Omari Ober and Cyrus Moss in there, I know they are worse in overall, and maybe they won't produce, but their contract is 500,000. And Chase Young contract, who also does not produce, it's 23 million. So I will trade Chase Young. Defensive tackle is fine with me, not the highest rated players. Linebacker, I'm really happy with our new players and additions here. Our rookies will get some snaps. Cornerback was already fine, and safety as well. So we filled most needs that we had. We also added Evan McPherson in free agency. Most needs are filled. That is good news for us. I will, of course, go through free agency at the start of next week's episode. And in free agency, I'm still hoping to add one or two really interesting players. But in my opinion, we had a really good draft, all in the 70s except from Colby Cage. But especially our wide receiver and edge pick was really good. Happy with the O-line and linebackers. Good draft, not exceptionally good, but taking into account that we did not have a first rounder, I'm really happy with that. So we were able to replace at least some talent with interesting young players. So let's see what we can do in free agency and hopefully win another division title. Until then, I wish you a great week and see you next time. Bye bye.